Hailing from the picturesque wine region of McLaren Vale in South Australia, Juliet Oliver's music is as rich and textured as the vineyard she grew up around. A highly talented singer-songwriter with a flair for blending classic country roots with contemporary sounds, Juliet has carved out a unique niche in the Australian country music scene. Known for her candid songwriting and undeniable presence, Juliet has made waves as a Toyota Star Maker Grand Finalist and a 2023 South Australian Music Awards finalist. Her previous single, Sociopath, made its mark on multiple Spotify editorial playlists, proving that she knows how to keep her listeners hooked. Returning to her roots with a refreshed and authentic sound, Juliet's music features contemporary country pop flavours, and her latest single, Red Roses, that I played just a minute ago, is a perfect example of her unique and appealing new sound that promises to deliver the same heartfelt storytelling and genuine emotion that her growing legion of fans have come to love, all wrapped up in a sound that is distinctly hers. With a voice as smooth as fine wine and a talent for writing songs that capture the essence of life's complexities, Juliet continues to grow her legacy one song at a time, and I'll be keen to watch her rise through the ranks of Australian country music's growing list of exceptionally talented artists, of which she is clearly one. I'm truly delighted to have Juliet standing by on the phone, waiting to have a chat with me. So let's bring her on air right now without any further delay. Hello, Juliet. How are you?
Hello. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. We got you on air. All right. we have a win.
Better late than never, I say.
Yeah, I know. And it is. It was worth. It was worth the wait, I think.
I hope so.
To have you on air here.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, first of all, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to the Country Club. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to have a chat on air, and I hope it won't be the last. I really do. So thank you for joining me today on your Sunday afternoon. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for supporting my music.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm a great believer in supporting Australian talent, good Australian talent, and you certainly tick that box without any doubt. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now let's talk about Red Roses. Tell us the story, please. Tell us the story behind it. And did you write that yourself, or was it a co-write?
I did write it myself. For me, I guess, like many artists, songwriting is really just my personal diary put to music, and okay. I think it's certainly the case with this song. I'll be brutally honest with you. I was in a relationship with a boy who broke up with me one day and sent a dozen red roses to another girl the next day. Oh. And so I did what I always do, and I went home and I sat on my bedroom floor and I penned this song all in one go and recorded it, and I thought, should I send him a paragraph? Should I send him a letter about how much I'm upset with him? Or should I just hold on to this little song and then release it and hope that one day he hears it? Bit of petty revenge, but hopefully he's listening out there somewhere.
I do hope he's hearing it, because he deserves to take some criticism for that one.
Absolutely.
Poor guy, what a delusional fool.
Well, I don't know. The Taylor Swift, she always says, well, if you don't want me to write bad songs about you, don't do bad things.
Exactly right. You don't want to upset a songwriter.
Absolutely not. I mean, some people would just go and slash your tires or something crazy, but, I think a country song's a pretty good out in that situation.
I think it's a great vehicle for expressing your emotion and, for making people who deserve it feel less than what they really are.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell us, where can people buy your music?
I'm on all the social media platforms, as you can imagine, and Apple Music, Spotify, it's all there. I'm also on my website, julietoliver.com.au. You can get in touch with me there, and I have all of the information and all of my tracks, current and future, and also past.
Excellent. And do you have a list of shows coming up? And
yeah, I post everything on my website and all over social media. I'm really lucky. where I live in South Australia, there's no end of venues that are very supportive of country music, and hopefully later in the year I hope to travel further afar and be able to perform elsewhere in Australia.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I hope you get the chance to come to Melbourne sometime. I'd love to see you live in concert.
I love it, and Melbourne's one of my favourite places. I spent a lot of time over there growing up, so fingers crossed I can bring my music over there too.
Okay, well, you don't want to be here at the moment. It's very cold.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't envy. I mean, Adelaide's pretty cold itself, but you guys take the cake in that department.
Yeah, I know. But Adelaide's got a bad habit of sending all their bad weather to Melbourne.
I know, but then we hope that the bad weather hits the ski fields, because I do love snowboarding this time of year, so it's pretty nice up at Mount Buller.
Yes, and Thredbo and places like that, they got early and heavy snowfalls. So they're absolutely over the moon. They're having one of the best snow seasons in a long time.
It's been a tough couple of years, but it looks pretty beautiful up there at the moment.
Yes, it does. Yes, been a long time since I've been to the snow, but I guess I'll have to make a trip up there just to remind myself of how cold it really is.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Okay, all right, back to the music. Now, is there any prospect of an upcoming album anytime soon?
Yeah, I've got a couple of more singles that I'm hoping to release this year, and then I have an EP that's ready to go. I'm just waiting for the right moment. I think it's one of those things, isn't it? You've got to wait for the right timing to release, and I've got it sat there, but I'm just, I think, warming up to it with a few singles in the meantime.
That seems to be the way things are done nowadays, and I'm not suggesting it's a bad way. I think it's quite good. Give people a bit of a taste of what's on the album, before they actually go out and buy it,
Absolutely, and a good way to be able to connect with people who haven't listened to your music before as well.
Yes.
Give them a little slice of it, and hope that, by the time the EP or album rolls around, you've got a nice base of listeners who are ready to jump on board.
Indeed, and it is important to keep yourself in the forefront of the music industry as much as you can, I think, anyway. So, that's a good way to do it, is just to release a few tracks off your album before the album's actually released, I think, anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm over the moon about your concurrence. I love it.
No, thank you.
Consensual validation goes a long way with me.
That's exactly right. Well, you wouldn't want to argue on air, would you?
No, certainly not with a lady like you, that's for sure.
Although it might be, I'll go home and write a song about it.
I was just going to say. I wouldn't want to be the subject of your chagrin.
No, and then you come to the country club and you listen and you go, oh, there's another one from that girl.
So true. Okay. Now, I'd like to just quickly talk about the music video that goes with the song of Red Roses. That's a really well put together video clip. Beautiful production. So, can you tell us a bit about that? Who was involved and where was it filmed?
Thank you. Well, it was filmed up in the beautiful Adelaide Hills, and to be quite honest with you, it was a really quick production. It was just myself, a videographer, and one of my very good friends who was there to help throw props and roses to me and photos to me and my matches. For those listening, if you haven't seen it, it's got real photos of me and the subject of the song, and me burning them with a beautiful dozen red roses around me. So it was filmed really quickly in just an afternoon, a couple of hours, and I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. I think part of the creative process is just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, and because it was such a quick process, I thought, it's a 50-50 chance whether this will look good or it won't. But I was so happy with how it turned out. And I think when you're filming in a beautiful landscape like the Adelaide Hills, you can't really go wrong, can you?
No, absolutely, I agree with you. It's. Now that you mentioned it was a quick job, that doesn't come across when you see the actual clip itself. It gives the impression of being, well planned and well put together and really, really well produced. So kudos to everyone who was involved in that, because great job. And also, I hope your ex-partner gets to see it at some point.
Absolutely, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? When you're working on these creative projects, if you work with people who share the same vision and can understand where the song comes from and what it should look like when it comes to not just the audio, but visually. I think that's what makes all the difference. It doesn't matter whether you spend $100,000 on a video or you spend a couple of $100 or weeks or an hour on the video. If you've got the right team of people who are passionate about it around you, I think that's what makes the difference visually.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree. It's the end product that counts after all.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're so lucky, I think, with social media and living in such a digital time. It's so accessible to be able to make videos and share videos to go along with your music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. So tell us, who's been your main influences on you as a songwriter and a performer?
Yeah, I think for me, I grew up listening to traditional country music, the likes of Patsy Cline and Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and they've played a huge influence on me in my songwriting. I think the beauty of that kind of music is that it's timeless, and I think that's what makes a good song, something that, I look at Patsy Cline's Crazy, for example.
Oh, yeah.
That song, written so many years ago, but it's still so relatable to people my age, younger, old. It doesn't matter. It brings us all together, and I think that's what makes a good song. So those types of artists really have inspired me.
Oh, you could not go past Patsy Cline as an influence, I don't think, or Dolly Parton for that matter. I'm a huge fan of those ladies. Absolutely terrific stuff.
Well, they're the queens of country for a reason, aren't they?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And sadly, poor old Dolly's husband passed away just recently, which is rather tragic, but, I'm sure she'll write a song about that eventually.
Absolutely. I'm sure that's what's getting her through, isn't it? It's the music that helps us grieve and go through the ups and downs of life.
I think, really good songwriters like her, that they, to some extent, when tragedy strikes like that, they use their songwriting ability to as a coping mechanism, and I'm sure that happens.
Absolutely, I think, and that's the thing. Music is just the best therapy, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, in all sorts of ways. I absolutely agree with you. Okay, now, what's been the most memorable experience so far for you as a performer?
I was lucky enough to be a Toyota Star Maker Grand Finalist in 2019 and 2020. And for me, that was just the most rewarding experience for me to date as a singer and a songwriter. I've always been going to the Tamworth Country Music Festival since I was quite young, but to be able to perform on that big stage in the Toyota Park in front of that many people, both there in the park and also those that watch online and watch the live stream, it was just an amazing experience. And I think what's so great about country music in Australia is that the bigger artists like Casey Chambers or Amber Lawrence or Lee Kernaghan, who are very involved in the Toyota Star Maker program, they're so willing to help the up-and-comers. And you can walk down Peel Street in Tamworth during the festival and you can see Casey Chambers on the street, and she'll talk to you as a friend and she'll give you advice, and there's no competition there. It's just, and there's no, I'm a big celebrity. They're just so down to earth and willing to help. Yeah. And I think through that Toyota Star Maker program, I really realised how true that is. Just the mentorship is amazing.
Yes, it is, and I think that's quite unique to country music. I haven't struck that attitude in any other genre that I've been involved in. It's always been, especially rock music. For instance, it's very highly competitive, and to some extent there's a lot of backstabbing going on. But you don't get that in country music. You
don't, and I think it remains that it's about the music and the songwriting.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the essence of country music, and I think it's so fantastic in Australia. We have such a tight-knit community that really just wants to celebrate the music at all levels.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just interested that you mentioned Lee Kernaghan before. You're probably aware that he's on tour at the moment, and he'll be appearing at the Palms in Melbourne, right here in Melbourne, next weekend.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
are you going?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, you betcha.
Amazing. Well, enjoy.
Yeah.
I'll be living vicariously through you.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, it's not every day you go and get to see Lee Kernaghan in concert.
No.
But nor do you get to see Juliet Oliver in concert all that often either. So, same thing. If you come to Melbourne, I'm there.
Well, I'll let you know for sure.
Please do. Please do. Yeah, great. All right, we've got a couple of minutes left, so I'd just like to. Have I asked you this? What's been your most? Yeah, I have. I get a bit confused sometimes because I've got a few questions here, and I'm very disorganised, in presenting them. So I apologise for that.
No, that's what keeps it interesting, doesn't it? When you're having an organic conversation on air.
Yep. It just goes to show nothing pre-recorded here. It's all live.
No, that's it.
Warts and all. Oh, you've got to love community radio. Anyway, let me ask you this. It might be a weird question, but if you could pick three people to be on stage, any three people to be on stage with, who would they be?
Oh, that's a great question.
Gotcha.
I know. There you go. Well, I think definitely, as we talked about, Patsy Cline would be my ultimate idol to sing alongside. I also was very inspired, like most girls my age growing up, Taylor Swift, of course. I think you can't talk to a young country music singer without bringing up Taylor Swift. I would love the opportunity to just, I think, be around her and her presence and understand the workings of her brain when it comes to performing, not just songwriting, but performing on stage.
Yes.
It's just incredible. And who else? I am a big fan of Jason Isbell. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's a Nashville-based Americana artist. So it's a little bit different from my style of music and what I usually listen to, but he's an amazing musician, not just lyrically, but instrumentally. Okay. And I would love to play alongside him on stage because I'm just in awe of how he can play guitar and his presence.
Okay, I missed the name. Who was it again?
Jason Isbell.
Oh, okay. All right. Have to look that up. I'm not familiar with him.
His song. If you're someone that listens to music for the lyrics, I think you'd love him because he's just he songwrites like no one else, in my opinion. And yes, as I mentioned, instrumentally, he's just incredible as well.
Okay, all right. I've made a note of his name. I'll look him up. Yeah, that's good.
Please do. Let me know what you think.
I will, certainly, next time we have a chat. Unfortunately, we have to sign off right now because we're out of time. But again, thank you so much for being on the show today, Juliet. I do appreciate it very, very much. And I really do look forward to the next time we can do this. I certainly hope it won't be the last time. So anyway.
Likewise, and thank you very much for supporting my music. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. But for now, all the best to you. I wish you every success in everything you do. And again, we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Enjoy Lee next week.
I will. Looking forward to it. All right, thanks, Juliet.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye for now.